Oh yeah! Hell yeah! Yeah, now we're talking, now we're talking. On this channel, I like to talk about games that I played as a kid, but then replayed as an adult. And this game, War of the Monsters, is one of those games. I used to play this and a game called Custom Robo, and those games were legendary to me as a kid. Still are. Now though, I can see how much detail, effort, and passion went into these games. Custom Robo is a story for another day. Here we're going to talk about War of the Monsters. This game is literally amazing in every way, and I'd love to talk about and share with all the wonderful people of the world who've never even heard or seen this game. So without further... Okay, I don't have anything to rhyme with War of the Monsters, so let's just get in the review. War of the Monsters is a fighting game in which you take the role of these massive monsters in order to duke it out and beat the hell out of some other monsters. Each monster has their own abilities and movesets, but all follow a general combat premise, having heavy attacks and light attacks. They also have their own unique looks and roar, which I find to be pretty cool. The game consists of a couple of modes, such as campaign, local co-op, and endless mode, and some mini-games like dodgeball, crush-o-rama, and big shot. The real highlight mode, though, has to be the campaign. The campaign consists of 8 different levels, each with varying enemy types. No real different objective other than beating the hell out of other monsters. Although it is the same thing every time, the game does throw in some variety to keep it fresh and interesting. First off, you gotta choose a character to play as in the campaign. And wow, the character designs in this game are, at times, really amazing. Some of them are somewhat lackluster, while others are really dope. However, all of them have skins that you can purchase by earning this in-game currency, and no microtransactions. I know, it's pretty crazy. So let's meet our fabled cast. Raptros is a literal dragon. Nothing really too special about this one. He has a pretty cool roar. Togira. Now, this spiky little bastard is cool. He's got like these arm spikes and shoulder spikes that shoot out, and he's got like this acidic spit projectile, and he also spews fire. So I mean, how much cooler can you get? Praetor is a giant praying mantis that's super quick and nimble. He can fly around the map and has some really quick combos. I'm actually pretty certain too that he's meta. He's also been used in a couple of speedruns. Done quite a amount of research for this game, so... Kongar is your King Kong ripoff. Nothing too special about him. He's got some pretty cool skins though. He's got like a frost monkey skin and a mecha monkey skin, so that's pretty cool. Robo 47. Now this Robo, it was created to combat the first alien invasion. We'll get there. He's fitted with a drill, a hammer, a shield, and a lock-on missile. And he also has a pretty funny noise he makes. It's like cavalry. 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 That's better. He's like cavalry. Agmu is this like ancient deity based off like the Easter Island statue things, I think. It looks like that, so don't quote me on this. It looks like it. I don't know if it's inspired by it. He was awoken by this this tribal guy who poured alien radiation into his head, and he's here. Not a terrible design, but not the best. But he's got this pretty cool special ability in which he like rips his head off and makes it giant and can throw it at people and have it explode. It does a lot of damage, pretty tricky to use. Overall, okay character. Ultra V is super cool and probably by far the best looking character in this game. He was created to combat a future alien invasion, although the scientists pumped him with the alien radiation for some reason, thus creating a rogue mech. He has a laser katana and twin jetpack jets that are super cool. He also makes a funny little noise as well. Alright, someone. Magmo is a living lava type creature. He's got like a really okay design, and almost if you remember this, if you played the Godzilla, I believe it's War of the Monsters or something like that, or Godzilla Save the Earth. No, it's Godzilla Unleashed. If you played Godzilla Unleashed for the PS2, the PS2 had an exclusive monster. I forget his name. Editor, put up his name right here and put him up. A very generic-looking lava creature. It looks like that. He looks exactly like that. Kinectoclops. Kinectoclops. Kinectoclops? Kinetoclops? Kinetoclops. Shit, what is it? Kinectoclops. Kinectoclops. This thing is sick. He's got like electricity stemming out of his body to form his body. He has like a really cool way of fighting by shooting electricity whips and stuff like that, and such a dope design. And finally, the last character is Zorgulon. He's basically just an alien. He has a cool little helmet and a neat little ray gun. Not much to say about this little guy, other than he's in the game. Now that we've met our cast, let's get into the real meat and potatoes of this game. On your initial boot up of War of the Monsters, you'll get a cutscene telling you about the prior events that happened in this game's story. An alien invasion occurs, and Earth's military scrounged up every possible resource in order to stop them. They come up with this EMP-like device that knocks out all the alien ships. With the spoils of war, they discover a new alien-type radiation thing. Experimenting with it, they create Praetor by, of course, injecting it into a praying mantis, because, you know, why wouldn't you? And Kongar by accident, kind of. He's flying. They shoot up a monkey in space during an alien invasion, and the monkey hits the spaceship and then falls to Earth with the radiation creating a bigger monkey. Yeah, that checks out. Anywho, with the rise of the monsters, Earth's defenses weakened, leading to the aliens to launch a counterattack. Now with the humans, aliens, and monsters duking it out, it's a war of the worlds. I mean, war of the monsters. You choose your monster and embark upon this quest to best every other monster in the game, along with a few boss monsters. The first level introduces you to the game's mechanics, along with the map design. As I mentioned before, heavy attacks, light attacks, and special abilities. There is also a light amount of combo strings you can do. You can also parry enemies, put in a stun lock, and even do a ground pound. On many of the maps, you'll find these little health pickups along with these little energy pickups. When you do something like shoot your projectile or pick up a monster and start wailing on them, this consumes energy. If you use up all your energy, you'll be left in this dazed state wherein you'll have to recover energy for a short time, not being able to pick up objects and shoot your projectile. There's also this item, this like red pickup thing. You pick this up and it will grant you your special ability. Each monster in the game has two special abilities, an AoE effect and a long-range ability. This little box in the top right of your health bar indicates whether or not your special ability is ready. These are kind of gimmicky, but can help in gank type situations, as you'll get ganged up on a lot in this campaign. Speaking of the campaign, the first level has you go up against Kongar, the King Kong reject. Take him out and go on to the next level. Revenge of Toguro. Now, each level has this pretty cool movie poster-esque loading screen, which a lot of them have genuinely good artwork. Thought I'd just point that out. Anywho, here Toguro is introduced along with Robo-47, who actually brings in a fleet of deadly choppers. Be super careful because these choppers deal a lot of chip damage, and if you're not careful, can take you out instead of the actual monsters. Finish them off, and then you're on to the next level, Outpost X, facing off against a bunch of giant red fire ants, aka Praetor skins, and then going up against the first boss fight in the game, Goliath Prime. He's a giant that throws bombs at you, and then in his second phase, spins around like a fidget spinner. Whatever Daddy wants, Daddy gives. It can be pretty difficult the first time trying to dodge his bombs, and even in his second phase, just launching you across the map with his fidget spinner mode. But he can be stun locked with this giant boulder that spawns in the middle of the map. Be careful though, as if this is destroyed or thrown out of bounds, it's gone forever. Take care of him, and then watch him die in a very exaggerated death cutscene. Now on to one of the hardest levels in the game, the Creeping Chaos. You face off against a Praetor and Kongar, who has been rebuilt to be this meadow monkey thing, Mecha Kongar. Mecha Kongar is alright, but Praetor is such a hassle to deal with. He's constantly flying around, and when you weaken him enough, he'll fly away and look for health, and since he's a fast monster with the ability to fly, 9 times out of 10 he'll get the Mega Health power-up that restores his health completely. After completing that level though, you move on to It Came From the Skies, wherein you face off against 2 Raptros. This level isn't as bad as it's pretty small and not many health pickups lie around, although the Raptros function similar to Praetor, as when their health gets low, they'll gun straight for health. Though there are these like pole structures and these towers that can be used to throw at monsters that'll impale them for a short time, leaving them vulnerable to a really quick combo or a heavy combo. It's honestly a very meta tactic. Anywho, on to the next mission, Battle for Atomic Island. Now, this level is actually pretty fun. The beginning has you face off against an onslaught of Connectoclops. And Connectoclops has probably the coolest cutscene intro in the entire game. After surviving long enough to destroy these 4 reactors, the nuclear reactor starts to melt down. A real Chernobyl situation right here. A countdown starts and... Dear God, this boss fight is annoying. It's basically this giant waiting game in which you have to wait for these openings to throw these pieces of rubble. And this boss constantly shoots this ranged attack that does the most minute damage that if you're not careful or paying attention, you'll just die from the amount of damage you've taken. He's also got this stationary attack that stops you from sitting in one place and waiting. It's really annoying. And the penalty for death isn't that bad. Basically, if you lose all your lives, you'll just restart the level from the beginning. So if you died on this boss fight, you restart it at the Connectoclops sequence. It's not a terrible penalty for dying. Overall though, he's not a bad boss fight. He does make you move around and do somewhat critical thinking, I guess. But he's not a horrible boss fight. It's probably the worst boss fight in this game, but not a bad one. Also, you want to know this boss's name? You want to know his name? It's friggin' Vegan. Like, I can't even come up with this shit. Like, what the fuck? Battle of the Titans is up next, in which you face off against 2 Robo-47s, with alien ships whizzing by left and right, shooting anything that gets into their range. There's also a pretty cool Easter egg on this map, in which you can create an earthquake to create a ravine in the middle of the map. The robots are pretty tough though with their lock-on missiles, and the alien ships whizzing by can do a lot of chip damage, but there are those spears and towers that I mentioned before, so definitely use them against this duo.
So when I initially recorded this video, I forgot to mention a level called Terror in Paradise. This level takes place on this tropical island, wherein you face off against Magmo and Agmo. Magamo? Honestly, Magamo? Agamo? Magmo? Magmo and Agmo. They really put the most 2 similar sounding named monsters in a level together. Anyways, this level isn't that hard. Agamo is fairly easy, but Magmo will seek health when his health is really low, which can be a bit of a nuisance, but other than that, it's a fairly standard level. It has probably the funniest intro cutscene in the game by Magmo just getting flung across the map.
Destroyer Wave is up next, probably my favorite piece of artwork in the game right here. Facing off against 2 Ultra Vs in a lively cityscape. There's actually another Easter egg on this map, in which you shoot this UFO in the background, you can trigger a tidal wave. The Ultra Vs are somewhat hard though. Another method you can use in taking them down, and this is for any map that has tall buildings, is actually knock over the tall buildings and have it crush the monster, instantly killing them. This is such a cool mechanic. take out these two and get sucked up by the UFO that was in the background, and then face off against a Zorgulon gangbang in Terror of Space. A trio of Zorgulon attack you on their mothership. Take them out and hop on the last UFO out of there and crash land into the climactic final mission, Cerebulon, Destroyer of Worlds. Also another really great piece of artwork. You weren't alone in that UFO shooting down towards Earth. Cerebulon, the leader of the alien invasion and the final boss fight of the game, is your last challenge. This boss fight is divided into 3 stages. In the first stage, the head of the UFO blows up, revealing a giant mech suit. And once again, you have to wait for an opening after it fires this giant laser that'll practically melt you if you stand still. You can hide behind these little pillars resembling the Washington Monument, and behind this giant structure resembling the US Capitol. A perfect setting, if I might add. More on that later. After dealing enough damage to the mech suit, it blows up, scattering debris all over the place, and the second stage ensues. The head of the mech suit blows off and comes undone, revealing a tripod-esque looking vehicle. And I can't help but think that this was inspired by George Orwell's War of the Worlds, which is just insanely dope. And then with the chunks of debris lying around the map, you have to pick them up and throw them at the boss, as this is the only way of dealing damage to him in this phase. If he comes near you, he'll put you in this grab attack, in which you take a lot of damage and he throws you across the map. After throwing a few chunks at him, the tripod starts to fall over and the third and final stage takes place. Sick of his machines failing, Cerebulon decides to... Wow, just what a cutscene, honestly. The orange sky in the background, the city landscape, along with the strobe lights, and the realistic looking set pieces like the Washington Monument and the US Capitol. And to top it all off, the intimidating presence of Cerebulon. His echoing howl, along with his weird janky movements, make him so otherworldly. Pun intended. And on to the gameplay, or the boss fight in general. Cerebulon is insanely difficult.
It wasn't me! It wasn't me! Damn it! Oh my god, no! I'm sorry, it wasn't me! It wasn't me! It wasn't my idea! You gotta play with the USB steering wheel! It's not my fault!
He's got this super long combo string that pretty much spells out your death if you're not careful and either blocking or just running away from him. He can also just straight up barrel roll you and launch you across the map. Cerebulon can also pick up objects and sport a projectile. In essence, he's almost like another playable monster, but has some insane boss-like qualities. But after utterly beating the shit out of him, or after him beating the shit out of you, and then you running away and then doing little amounts of damage to him over a short period of time, it is very satisfying to get that end cutscene. Good lord, that was graphic. His head blows up and... wait, what's that? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Kill it. Kill it. Oh, you let it get away. And that's the end of the game. Depending on which character you play as determines which character cutscene you'll get. And most of these are pretty underwhelming. They're way too short and don't provide any meaningful information. Like Togira's. He literally just wakes up at the bottom of the ocean. Like, what? He was there the entire time? And Connecticlopses, which is honestly hilarious. Some dude just gets shocked by a UFO hitting an electrical grid and he just becomes Connecticlops? Like, what? R.I.P. to the electrical grid security guard, I guess. But does that mean that, like, everybody can become Connecticlops as well? Just any human that gets shocked by a UFO? Just doesn't make any fucking sense. The most disappointing thing, though, about these Origin or Awakening cutscenes is that the two unlockable characters, Zorgulon and Raptros, don't actually have one. Instead, they get, like, this
weird FMV at the end of the game. It's just like a behind the scenes thing. And it's honestly really disappointing because I felt like I wanted to know their cutscenes the most out of the entire cast. It's like, where did these two come from? And we just get this crappy little 4x3 screen of how they made the game. It's like, wow. Still though, it's not the main reason why you played the game. You played the game to play as a monster and a friggin' whale and other monsters. So let's talk about why I think this game still holds up today and why I think it's so special. The gameplay in this game though is amazing. The fighting mechanics, like I mentioned earlier, are simple but offer a lot of variation. You have a light string, a heavy string, a light plus heavy string, a parry, a stun lock, and even a ground pound. The maps really do add a lot to the combat as well, with health and energy pickups scattered throughout the map, buildings being able to crush other monsters, and little Easter eggs hidden throughout. It's just a buttload of fun to play around in and smash and whack other monsters into buildings. It's so freaking cool. Along with the special abilities, which are really dope as well. The main mode I played was the campaign mode, and depending on which difficulty you set the game to, makes enemy monsters seek health and use every ability they can against you. And when you set the game to hard, hard is hard in this game. There is a lock-on system as well, which makes it pretty much essential when aiming or throwing objects, so there's that. Other than that though, everything that I found in the game is fairly balanced. I mean, some characters are better than others. Magmo and somewhat of Zorgulon. Other than that though, every character feels fairly balanced. And the mini games, while I didn't play them, they look pretty fun, and since they're all co-op based and I don't have any friends to play with, anyone to play with them, I haven't checked them out. So I mean, it's still cool that the devs put them in there. The art style in this game is pretty much the main reason why I love it so much. Every monster is inspired by old horror, sci-fi, and monster films from the past, and the whole thing just feels like a cheesy monster movie. The menu representing a drive-in movie theater, and the loading screens being over-exaggerated movie posters. Like, half the monsters in these posters aren't that big. They're like scaled up 10 times. But the in-game art style is impeccable. The game is colorful, well lit, and nicely detailed. Buildings explode into rubble when destroyed, and each setting brings a new perspective into this world. Apocalyptic, wasteland, alien, it all just looks super nice and is done brilliantly. The monsters as well look really good, all their skins included. And most of these skins in this game literally bring new monsters into it. Like, that's just awesome. All in all though, this has to be one of the most detailed and visually appealing games I've ever played. It is such a joy to play and look at.
When I initially recorded this video, I stated that the soundtrack wasn't too good. I was wrong. The soundtrack in this game is friggin' amazing. It adds a lot to the gameplay and to the levels themselves, though there are ones, to me at least, that seem to repeat or sound similar. The notable ones to me that stick out are the main menu theme. Just booting up this game for the first time and hearing this ominous but also stellar track is almost awe-inspiring. Kind of gears you up for an epic journey ahead. Top it off with the movie theater drive-in visuals, and it's really just a great track. The Atomic Valley theme. Coming from a level that's truly insane, this track follows suit to add to the already hectic situation. Such a great theme, and honestly, such a great level. And finally, the Cerebulon theme. You probably know this theme by getting your ass kicked by Cerebulon so many times, but it's a really great track. It really just hypes up the final level of this game by having this harsh but also epic sounding track. Nonetheless though, the soundtrack is overall pretty good. To me, a lot of the tracks can sound the same if you don't have your ears like pressed up against the headset, but the few that do stand out are really good. Give it a listen, and I want to hear your opinion on the soundtrack. What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments.
I know I usually have a segment in my reviews for critiquing stories, but this game doesn't really have one. It's kind of just a whole set piece of levels with various cutscenes thrown in between. It's not terrible, but I feel that a story could have been implemented in this game. Not to say that every game needs a story or like a groundbreaking story, but something just to latch on would have been nice. maybe we could have gotten an elaboration on this alien radiation, or maybe even some hindsight into the previous alien invasion. That'd be nice and pretty cool. War of the Monsters, while being a relatively short game, is probably one of the founding pillars of my childhood. As a kid, I played this game all the time, and now as a young adult, can respect the many intricacies and details of this game, but I also still love it to death. For those that don't know, I'm a huge monster movie fan, specifically of Godzilla movies. As a kid, I used to watch them all the time and collect all the toys and video games. And I still occasionally collect merchandise, but my super fandom era has passed, and I occasionally collect. However, having a game like this, while there were Godzilla games, was a nice reprieve from what I was used to. Although the Godzilla games were kick-ass, and we will get to them in another video, so definitely stay tuned for that. But War of the Monsters was almost like a Godzilla movie, with these well-designed characters, and this interesting setting, and this fun little goofy premise. This game is truly a classic, and for those that haven't played it, I highly recommend you do. You'll definitely get some enjoyment out of this, and I seriously mean it. This game is just buttloads of fun. And now for the rating. Now, there were a lot of little minor annoyances I had with this game, but in the end, it doesn't really affect it too much, so it's still a solid 8.1 out of 10. This game is just so freaking awesome. Just play it. Play it somehow, some way. I think it's on the PS4 store, and you can always emulate it. You didn't hear that from me, though, so. But definitely check it out. It is a buttload of fun. You'll find some entertainment with it. Get a few buddies, or, I don't know, sit around in your room. Oh, so bad. But still, just check it out. It's a blast. And that is going to be the end of this video. Thanks, guys, for sticking around till the end. I really do appreciate it. I know this video took a while to come out. It's just been going through a lot recently. And I know I say that for every video, but it's true. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going through a lot. I feel like sometimes I put a lot of projects on myself, and that kind of overwhelms me, and I lose a lot of the motivation for those projects that I had initially. This video I started in October, and it's probably gonna go up like around my birthday. So yeah, as of recording and writing for this video, although I'm still recording, so yeah, I have 2 jobs. I get 0 sleep from both jobs. I'm working on my movie screenplay. I am watching Udemy courses and stuff like that on filmmaking and writing, and trying to better myself in those 2 fields. And I am working on other videos for other channels. My brother and I, we have a pizza review channel. I'm not sure if he wants me to link it here or not, but if you want, you can check it out. Put it right here. Although it doesn't take much time, it's still just something I have to like work on and stuff like that. And just basic life stuff, you know, I don't know, just still trying to figure out where I am in this vast sea of emptiness, and it's a lot, so there's that. I may seem like I'm complaining. I'm not. I'm just want to give you guys some clarity on why videos release or come out when they do. Just a heads up. Yeah. And I greatly appreciate everybody who comments and likes and supports the channel. It really means a lot, whether you're literally like commenting on the Dr. Disrespect video, like calling me awkward or some shit, or even the Digimon World 3 video. It is literally just such a joy, and every time I see a comment, I mean, it's like, it's kind of rare nowadays since I don't upload that much, but when I do, it's just, it makes my day. It really does. It's awesome. So, thank you for that. I just bugging out. And yeah, thanks again for watching. Plenty of more reviews on the way. So stick around. We're gonna be, I don't know what the next video game we're gonna review is. Maybe XCOM, because I've been playing a lot of XCOM UFO Enemy Defense, I think. Editor, put up the name right here, or right here. I don't know the name. It's a good game. We play a lot of that, or we like to talk about Custom Robo, because we mentioned custom mode this game or in this review, and I am super stoked to work on that because I gotta play the game all over again just to get a sense of the story again, or maybe just watch the videos over again. So yeah, stay tuned for that because I'm super hyped to work on those projects. And yeah, thanks again. You all know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe, or it's gonna be like right around here. And I will see you on the next video. It was a pleasure to provide you with some entertainment for the day, whether you're going through some hardship or, I don't know, just need a pick-me-up or a good laugh. I hope you got something out of this video, or made you remember some fond childhood memories or something cool. So, yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Whew. That was kind of a lot. I'm looking at my script. I didn't even script that. Shit. Peace out.
Also, if you wanted the hoodie that I was wearing in this video, check out Wisdom Frog on Instagram. I'll link him in the description. He's a pretty cool guy. Got his stuff. So if you wanted to support him or, you know, show him some love, definitely hit him up. He's got a pretty cool merch design. So yeah, thanks again for watching the video. This took me a long, way longer than I expected. But yeah, stay tuned for some more stuff. I'm pretty excited to work on that. So yeah, peace out. Love ya.
Dude, you're the best streamer, man. You're the best streamer. Can I take a picture with you?
Kidding me? No.
Come on, man.